I just had a patient tell me that him and his wife got quoted $30,000 to go through IVF treatment here in the United States. So instead, they are flying to Spain, staying for 2 weeks, making it a vacation, and doing IVF, all for $15,000. And keep in mind, he has insurance here in the United States, so that was with his insurance. And there, they don't have insurance. This is just out of pocket. So the out of pocket cost there, altogether, the trip, everything, $15,000. Make that make sense. Like, why? How? What is going on here? Healthcare just shouldn't be this inaccessible and inexpensive, especially, and keep in mind, he has insurance.
Healthcare in Europe is so much better than it is in America. When I was growing up in Texas, all the way back in 2008, I knew a guy whose mom was in the hospital because she had cancer. And not only was she in the hospital, she was in the ICU. Can you guess how much it costs every day to keep her there? Keep in mind, this was 2008, and think about the amount of inflation we've had since then. 3, 2, 1, $20,000 a day. $20,000 a day in the ICU for cancer treatment. I moved to the Czech Republic in 2015 and had my first hospital trip ever. You might have heard some of the discussion or the debate on social media about the COVID vaccine causing, what was it called again? Myocarditis. It's an inflammation of one of the inner walls of the heart. It happens to men in their mid-20s right after a viral infection, getting sick. I was 26 years old and I had just contracted a virus that had been going around the English camp I was teaching at. The nurse at the camp called an ambulance, which drove me to a hospital about an hour away because they specialized in heart treatment. I had a fairly serious operation where they put a camera through the main vein of my leg to inspect the inside of my heart to make sure it wasn't a heart attack. Myocarditis imitates a heart attack, by the way. That's why they did this. I was having shooting pains down to my right elbow. Maybe it was the left. I don't remember which one's a heart attack. After that, they wrapped me up, put me in an ICU for 3 days. They kept me in the general ward for 2 weeks, gave me all my meals, kept me alive, helped me recover. Gave me a little iPad, too, where I discovered One Direction because my English assistant was singing it all week at the Czech camp. After I got out of the hospital, they gave me the bill. My parents were like, how much was it? I said $40,000. And they were like, I remember their faces falling. They were like, well, we can take out a loan. We can pay for this somehow. I said, no. 40,000 Czech crowns. It's about $2,000. The ambulance ride alone would have been $2,000 in America. And it's not just unique to the Czech Republic. It's obviously like that all across the continent. Pretty unapologetic about this because the healthcare system in America bankrupts its citizens. Makes them insolvent. Come at me if you want, but I think it's pretty clear which one's better.
For a baby!
Is there a price for that?
Yes.
Jeez, $100? $200?
$2,500. Ambulance call out. How much do you think that costs?
Zero payment.
Zero payment?
Yeah, zero payment.
No. It costs $2,500.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
you look. An inhaler.
$100.
Yeah, you're pretty close. It's a bit more.
120.
250 to 350.
For an inhaler?
Yes.
Man, so if you're poor, you're dead.
I know that it's like public healthcare in the UK. In the US, fortunately, I'm able to get healthcare through my parents, their jobs, but like I carry an EpiPen, and I know that like the cost of that has just been rising. So like there's like very few companies that even compete, so it's sort of like a monopoly for the EpiPen. Even though like we have insurance, it cost my parents about a couple hundred, even with insurance.
So 2 EpiPens. Okay. How much do you reckon they are?
$80.
$600.
$40.
I'm afraid not.
More?
More?
$100.
More.
150.
More.
250.
More.
Shut the fridge.
More.
£300. $600. What? Why?
That's a very good question.
$600.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like just hives and shortness of breath.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like an immediate death situation, but like, so I've been fortunate I've not had to use it, but it's something like keep on me. Like I have my backpack right now, I have it on me.
Cost of childbirth.
Jesus. 50 grand, something ridiculous now?
Yeah, see, I've blown the figures up on your head now, haven't I? Because they're larger. It's the highest, generally speaking, is about 30 grand.
Okay.
Is that reasonable? You haven't?
Not reasonable at all. It's just like now on a benchmark.
100, 200.
Dollars.
Yeah.
The average is about 10 grand. It can go up to 30,000.
10 grand for a baby.
Yeah, well, I guess. How much is your child worth?
Yeah. What, is that like the same everywhere?
Yeah, the average is about $10,000. Yeah.
That's mad. Oh, no thanks.
Okay, no thanks. In which case, the coil, IUD, contraception,
Yeah.
how much do you think that costs?
For one person to implant $1,000?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Really?
Yeah, $1,300.
Oh. Mental.
I wonder if you could tell me how expensive you think calling an ambulance out to your location is in America.
I guess it depends on like where you live. It really does. Is there a price for that?
Yes,
Jeez, $100? $100?
$2,500.
For what? Why? Why?
Give birth by C-section,
Yeah.
and you would like to hold your baby after you.
Suddenly, it's dawning on Americans. They are saying that the cost of health care in America is too humongous, it's too high for them. When they compare the counterpart in Europe, it's like a new discovery that is shocking them. And even when their counterparts have been asked, I mean, like you just watching the video, when comparing giving birth in America, giving birth in Europe, fixing your teeth, I mean, in Europe versus in America, the difference is unbelievable. And the Americans are wondering, what is the cost of our healthcare system so high? And this is the question I'm also asking. Why is it so high in America? The cost of healthcare and the cost of, just in basic, thing about your health in America. Despite the fact that a lot of them are paying insurance, it's not reflective. Anyway, welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so grateful to having you guys around, liking, subscribing to my channel. I mean, someone just joined my membership. Someone just gave me super thanks yesterday, and I'm so grateful. Guys, what you watched at the intro is just the tip of the iceberg. I have a couple of other videos to show you by content creators, and credit is given to every content creator whose video I use into this episode. So let's dive into it, and when I come back, we shall continue the conversation. This is very interesting. I'll be right back.
How is it possible that you Americans don't have health care?
Here's the thing, we actually do have free healthcare. You can go to a hospital, get treated, and then just not fucking pay. And you don't go to jail. We don't have debtor's prison. So people do that.
It's the most American thing I've ever heard. The solution to healthcare, the healthcare crisis, is just to game the fucking system.
Yeah,
Just
crump up
game
the bill,
system.
throw
If it
the
doesn't
trash.
work, hey, just sue them.
Sue
Just
them.
sue them. Let your credit take a hit. Do some credit repair scheme, and you're
Yeah,
good.
100%.
Good.
Exactly.
Well, there we go. So America has free healthcare. What do people
USA.
complain about?
USA.
What do people complain about? Listen, I think German healthcare is, people always put it such and such a high pedestal. It is true. It is free, and I never worried about it. A single thing. I cut my nerve, had to get a stitch, like big procedure. Didn't pay a single thing. It was never an issue. Then my wife goes to the hospital in New York because she had an issue with her ovaries. Fell, fainted, hit her head, which is their fault. We got a bill for $32,000. She pays $800 a month for health insurance. How can you pay $800 a month for health insurance and then still not have health insurance? That's the thing that sometimes blows my mind. Like, it blows my dick. It really does. Because I thought about getting health insurance, but then I was like, what? There's a PPO? There's a plan I can only see this doctor from 9 to 11:30 on a Tuesday who lives
At the top of
a
Whitney,
mountain,
and
right?
You have to like take a horse.
When the moon aligns with the stars, and it's just so crazy that I was like, I'm not going to do healthcare. I'm just going to pay for it out of pocket. I think healthcare is the best healthcare in America. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The quality of it is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the price is ridiculous. My wife didn't have a crazy surgery. It was nothing insane. Not even a surgery. It was just a scan.
Yeah.
And then they made her fall and hit her head. And it was like $30,000.
Yeah.
$30,000. Dude, my mom makes that a year working her ass off.
Yeah,
Literally.
100%. Yeah. What you do is very American. You take that bill, you fold it, then you crumple it, you throw it in the waste bin,
Yeah.
and then you never think about it again.
Nice.
And you'll be fine.
Hell yeah.
Your credit's going to take a hit, whatever. Just fucking pay in cash. You'll be
Nice.
fine.
All right, cool. Cool. Well, there you go.
The more you know.
If anybody in healthcare issues, feel free to reach out to Bill. He's got you.
America should look to Europe as a model for healthcare reform.
I remember when I just moved to America, like I was going to school in Northern California, and I was hit by a car literally on the second day of my arrival here. So it wasn't like the best experience, but my parents were paying a lot of money for my insurance. Some pedestrians, they like called ambulance, I was picked up by them, and then they brought me to the hospital. There was a huge line, and I was like, I'm gonna go home. I think I'm fine. That's how I felt. And then a few days later, I received a bill, and it was like $8,000. And my insurance would cover only 1,000 out of those 8,000. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm glad I have my parents here who can cover those expenses for me. But like other people who have like, low wages and salaries, like how are they supposed to survive in this economy? So many people dying around when COVID happened, I saw them dying on the street because they just didn't have enough money, to cover their expenses for health.
What shocked me the most when I came to the United States, I remember also I went to the emergency room one day, and while I was in pain, I see this lady who came with a little paper asking me while I was in my hospital bed, what is the insurance? How are you gonna pay? And I was thinking, I couldn't even imagine back home, while you were in pain at the hospital, having somebody come to see you and ask you how you're gonna finance the treatment that you're gonna have right now. So I would even recommend to some American people, it might be cheaper to take a flight, go to Paris, go to an hospital and go to have medical help.
I'm an American living in Munich, Germany, and recently I had to go see a specialist, a cardiologist, under universalized healthcare. In the US, we're taught that seeing a specialist under universalized healthcare is going to be an incredibly long wait time and that the care that you receive is going to take forever. But that was not my experience at all. I had been having some heart pain and I recorded some irregular EKGs on my Apple Watch. I took those to my general practitioner and I had a referral to a cardiologist the next day. When I saw the cardiologist, she gave me a 24-hour EKG, an echocardiogram, and a heart monitor to wear for the next 2 weeks. All of that happened within 48 hours of having my heart complaint. Turns out, I just have an irregular heartbeat, which is fairly normal, especially in a pregnant person, and it will probably go away after pregnancy. 20 days is what I could have expected to wait in the United States for the same type of appointment in a major city. Not to mention it would have cost me a lot more than $0.
Here's the bill for your appendix removal. It'll be $13,000. Would you like to pay in cash, check, or set up a payment plan? $13,000? I have insurance. How is this possible? Well, your insurance provider said that it wasn't medically necessary, so they decided they didn't want to cover it. Not medically necessary? If you don't get treated for appendicitis within a couple of days, you die. Well, you can always submit a claim for medical necessity, but in the meantime, I need to know how you're going to pay for this if it doesn't go through. But I don't just have $13,000 laying around. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. Well, you should probably take the payment plan option then, because if you don't pay it, we'll send debt collectors after you and they can garnish your wages. Take money out of my paycheck? I already spend hundreds a month on health insurance. What is that even good for? Bonjour, I'd like to pay the bill for my appendix surgery. If you didn't have health insurance, it would be a lot of money. It could be almost 600 euros. But good thing you have Sécurité Sociale and a mutuelle, so you don't pay anything. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Same. We just popped into the emergency room. My assistant here, she hurt her hand. We had to put stitches on, and it cost us €4. 4. And I bet in the United States probably be like $400 to $800 for emergency room with no insurance. Do you have insurance?
No.
No insurance or nothing. Health industry scam in the United States is just rampant. Like, it's so expensive. In some places they won't even treat you with no insurance, or they will, and then they'll give you an insane amount of bills thereafter. Just another good reason to consider moving to Europe, because not just health, good food, but also really good, just humane healthcare. That's wild. And we're gonna make it to party, right?
Yes, I hope.
She was pissed off, so she was late for the party. She's not gonna make it. She was in, what, 15 minutes, and you were out.
Yeah.
So you're even gonna make it to your party, and what a way to end the week with a $4 bill from the emergency. I don't even know why I charge $4. Just make it free.
Well, if you have insurance, it's free.
Oh.
If you've ever thought, I don't want universal health care, let me ask you why. Because on average, things just look better. Let's compare the US to Germany. Out-of-pocket expenses are lower, the wait times are generally shorter, patient outcomes are better, the cost per capita is almost half, preventable mortality is much better. The average primary care physician still makes over $100,000 annually, And you can still have private special health insurance if that's what you really want, but there's a statutory income-based option available to all. There's a reason why countries without universal health care are not moving towards a US model. Make it make sense.
Like you're being treated, you don't die. Here you
Yes.
just die. You have no choice
Yes.
at all.
I hesitated to step forward, not because I don't agree that we should take inspiration, but because of the scale of America, it feels disingenuous to say that we can. European countries are significantly smaller and can facilitate the well-being of their citizens at a much easier rate. But that being said, we see that so many people on the poverty line are on the poverty line because they are in debt from their healthcare.
Yes.
That is an issue. And then we also look at, like when the whole United Healthcare thing happened, we looked at their AI. They were denying 90% of claims. And so we can say that America should, and I do agree that they should. I think having accessible healthcare is important. And I think as much as you can argue that about the unfairness of the public and private sector, the difference is that people in America who don't have access to healthcare insurance just simply aren't getting the care they need.
And I think it's a lot easier, to your point, to have these social welfare programs when everyone kind of has the same background, you're paying into the same system, you have the same beliefs, you have the same principles, all of that's kind of the same. And one of the reasons why I think we're never going to have healthcare for all, because people here just have such different beliefs on what healthcare should look like, who should pay for it, who should contribute, X, Y, Z. I mean, imagine getting someone in Mississippi who's avid pro-life to be okay with paying for someone's abortions in California.
What shocked me the most when I came to United States, I remember also I went to the emergency room one day, and while I was in pain, I see this lady who came with a little paper asking me while I was in my hospital bed, what is the insurance? How are you gonna pay? And I was thinking, I couldn't even imagine back home while you were in pain at the hospital, having somebody come to see you and ask you how you're gonna finance the treatment that you're gonna have right now. So I would even recommend to some American people, it might be cheaper to take a flight, go to Paris, go to an hospital and go to have medical help for
No, because then they would have taken the privilege out of a French person. Maybe you don't want that.
No, really, they don't do, because the fact like people also in French are more in the mindset on when it's like a medical help or medical thing, we don't really think like that. Or this should be for somebody else, or this should be to somebody else.
Again, the system needs to be redone. I hate Obamacare. I think it's done awful. My cost went from like $230 a month when I was in college to over $800 as soon as Obamacare came up. But I don't think the European model is good, because from seeing the treatment that my parents and my brother get, they have to wait in line a lot, like for a long time. It's not necessarily free because everybody's paying into it. And you see a large number of Europeans and people from around the world coming to America, if they have the means to do it, to get healthcare treatment here, because we do have
I never see an European going to come in America to get help.
Oh, it's statistically it happens. The whole world comes here.
Like what? Like which treatment?
Every treatment, cancer treatment, dental treatment, we have the best clinics in the entire world. It's just a different price
I want to
tag.
see the statistics where you're taking it from, because I've never heard like a European coming to America to get some kind of treatment.
One thing no one's mentioned yet, I think, is that Europe has like this dual system of healthcare. Like I did some research in Ireland on this, and I have friends in the UK and wherever. There is a public system, and if you have money, there's a private system where you can get seen much, much faster. Where's the fairness in that? Like, I don't see that as being
Because
very
if you don't
fair.
have the money, then you go to the public one.
But don't you see something intrinsically wrong with that? Like, in healthcare,
It's like a second-class citizen.
kind of. I mean, I don't think that's right.
Welcome back to my channel, guys. See, the reason why I'm sharing this video is the fact that people are going through a lot. Imagine someone that is doing 2-3 jobs, can't even afford to pay his rent. I made a video some days ago. Now I'm making a video concerning the health care delivery. A lot of people in America are complaining bitterly. They can't even imagine the comparison. When they compared, and they were shocked to their bone marrow that this is exactly how expensive it is in America when you compare to other European countries. And come to think of it, it looks like it's not going to go down soon. It looks like a lot of them are like, why not just leave America and go to Europe or go to any European country that the cost of living is very low. And that is why a lot of people are migrating from America, that live in America, and those European, travelers that used to come on vacation, they are no longer coming because the cost of living in America has skyrocketed, and a lot of Europeans can't even bear it anymore because, man, everything is cheap in their country. And when they come to America, that they used to look up to come and have fun, the cost of Airbnb, the cost of virtually everything. This present administration in America has increased tariff virtually on everything. So that's why healthcare in America is not benefit. All those benefits, health benefit has been cancelled. And a lot of Americans are saying that even before now, that healthcare has never been cheap. But it's just that those benefit that government is offering are the buffers for people that are not financially buoyant. They can always go with those benefits and their health will be taken care of. But now that all of those things are not there, to fix your tooth, to take care of your just a minor cut, all those minor, expenses that they have, that normally the benefit will cover it. Now nothing is covering it. And Americans are now like, so this is what it costs, or this is what has become, because it looks like immediately the benefit, all those benefit was removed. Health care system prices went up at a very unbelievable rate. And both white folks, both black folks are saying, why this sudden increase? Why this sudden, difference? And to be sincere, right now as I speak with this, I shoot this video, Americans can no longer afford the health care because it's too expensive. Imagine someone that's paying $80 every month on insurance, and I want to treat myself, and they're charging that like 30K. And I was like, am I not on healthcare? My insurance country should take care of it. And they're like, no, no, it's different. And this is exactly what people are going through. And they are saying that we're paying insurance, and insurance company will deny us when we need to embark on health, issue that needs to be taken care of. The health insurance company denies them. And that is why they're like, why are they paying insurance when the time for them to get taken care of, maybe, having maybe sickness or anything? And insurance companies say, no, they can't take care of that. Why? Because it is very high. It is very, very high. Imagine someone that's been on insurance for maybe 5, 10 years, who is paying $100 per month. So calculate $10 times 5 years. That's a lot of money. But when it happens that suddenly the patients need to be taken care of, most of the insurance companies tell them, no, we can't afford that, we can't take care of that. That cannot be on insurance. I'm like, so what exactly is happening? Why is it not? Why can't it be on it? So the insurance company is only just a profit. They just want to make profit from you. And when the time comes for you to need them to take care of your bills, they tell you that it's not on the insurance. And this is exactly what Americans are complaining about. That is one side. Then the other one is that naturally the healthcare system in America is expensive when you compare to Europeans. I mean, in this video you watched, they compare with France, they compare with UK, they compare with British, they compare with Germany, they compare with virtually all the European countries, and the difference is wide, the gap is wide. And this is the situations Americans have found themselves, and they are complaining bitterly. Now the question is, what is the way forward? Well, I think personally, if a new regime comes into power and it restores back all those benefits, it may calm, the situation. Or if a new regime comes and decide to just give a percentage, a good percentage, and give instruction to all the health care delivery system in America, and roll out policies that will aid that. If not, it's going to be very, very difficult for Americans to afford good health care delivery system for themselves and their loved ones. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Let the conversation continue in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you are new. And if you're old subscribers, I want to say thank you to you. But there's something I want to introduce to you guys. Old subscribers, new subscribers, you can join my membership so that you can get up and personal, you know, at the membership community. That's where we share stories, insights that can be shared in the public. So join and get updated. Thank you for watching. Until I come your way again, don't forget, stay in peace and avoid trouble. Bye for now.